Clutch Trucker filmed before a live and fuzzy studio audience. That is Rusty, the world-famous Meatball Dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning into another edition of the Clutch Trucker channel. Alright, on my way to the Freightliner here in Indianapolis. Got to pick up some trailer shocks. It took me like 3 hours on the phone to try to...
on the right, to Indiana 37 South, then take the first right.
Track these things down the other day. Nobody had them. Again, thanks to the pandemic, so many things are in short supply. And I was able to find the drive shocks I needed in Flagstaff at a Freightliner. And kept calling around everything I could think of between where I was in Arizona and...
Turn right on Indiana 37 South, then take the first right.
All the way over here, and I did finally find them in Indianapolis. Found two actually at a Kenworth in Tulsa, but I needed all four. And then I called the Freightliner here in Indianapolis, and they said that...
Turn right on Perry Commons Avenue, then turn left.
It's annoying sometimes, Garmin. But anyway, they could order them and have them in Friday afternoon, and I said, well, great, I'll be through there Saturday morning. So here it is Saturday morning, and I'm going to stop by and pick them up. After I got my new trailer tires on, I was still feeling some vibration, and I looked up my service record and realized that my trailer shocks are about close to 100,000 miles, and my drives are at about 130,000 miles. And I try to switch out my shocks right at 100,000 and try to stay around that.
1/4 mile, turn left.
Seems to help. And shocks are cheap. It's a better way, you save your tires that way. I'd rather spend, $50 on some shocks than $400 on a tire.
Turn left.
Alright, so we're just pulling into the Freightliner. It's one of the few that's still open 24 hours. And this Nimrod parked right here in the middle of everything, just blocking the whole driveway. What an asshole.
1/4 mile, turn left.
You're supposed to pull over here and park, and then go get your parts. So that's what we're doing right now. Alright, well, we got the Gabriel shocks. Gonna put them in my side box here in the truck. Technically my step box. This is my passenger step. There we go. Good place to store them. Alright, they had to order them, but they got them in, and here it is Saturday morning, the 10th of July. Got to pick them up today. Total bill $175 right there for 4 shocks. If you were to buy those from a TA or Petro or something, if they had them, you'd be lucky to get them for $100 a piece. So $175 all 4. Now I'm going to bring them to Sapp Brothers and have them put them on and save money that way. We'll talk more about that too. Yeah, well, okay, like I was talking about, I just did the steer tires 2 weeks ago, new trailer tires just about a week ago, new drive tires back in January. And the best way to save your tires and make them last longer is make sure your shocks are up to date. I don't run more than 100,000 miles on my shocks. I try not to. And sometimes all you can get is about 50,000 miles out of your shocks on your steers. They take a hell of a lot more abuse. And generally, if you're changing your tires out, it's a good time to change out your shocks. Unless, it's like I say, been under less than 100,000 miles on drives or trailer, or less than 50 on your steers. But, I wasn't trying to do everything all at once. And plus, you don't buy shocks from Love's. Definitely not. Now, they had Monroe's on the shelf there at that Love's in Amarillo, where I got the trailer tires done. $114 and $127. Hello! I paid $49 for the drive shocks in Flagstaff at Freightliner there. And I just showed you what I paid for the trailer shocks, $175 for all four, $41 and some change a piece. Yeah, $41.50. Now the trick is you don't have a Freightliner dealer to put the shocks on, because that's going to cost you a lot more money.
Construction was reported on I-70.
I used to bring them to a TA or Petro because they had a set price for putting shocks on if I didn't feel like doing it myself. They will not let you do that. You can't bring parts to them and have them put them on. They have to order them themselves, or has to be something they sell you, which is their way to make sure they charge you more money, because they're going to charge you $100 at least for that same shock I paid $49 for. They're probably going to charge $95 for the one I just paid $41 for. So that's how they get you. You know, they're going to get you one way or another. Freightliner's going to get you on the labor charges, because they're going to, put a diagnostic on there, the shop fees and everything else. So I used to, like I say, buy them from a Freightliner because you can get them cheap, bring them to a TA or Petro, but you can't do that anymore. However, Sapp Brothers will still do it for you if you bring them the parts. And so there's a Sapp Brothers in Clearfield, Pennsylvania. I'm going to be going through there tomorrow. So I'm going to get there first thing in the morning when they open up at 7, get in line, and have them throw the new drive shocks on and the new trailer shocks on. I'm due for an oil change. Okay, this engine requires one about every 25,000 miles. I'm a little overdue. I'm at like almost 27,000 miles. So it's time for that. And I'm due for a DOT inspection on both the truck and trailer. Turquoise does require a DOT every 90 days. That's because they don't have their own shop or anything. So that's their way to make sure
any of the 3 left lanes.
You're up to date and your truck is up to snuff and will pass, DOT and all that. So the nice thing is they do reimburse me for the DOT for the truck and trailer. So I'm going to have a whole bunch of stuff done. Shocks for the truck and trailer, DOT for truck and trailer, and PM, if you want to call it that, or oil change. PM is the same thing as an oil change, means preventive maintenance, and includes your oil change, and they check all the fluids, and they kind of check everything anyway. So I'm going to get all that done at Sapp Brothers tomorrow in Clearfield, Pennsylvania, because Sapp Brothers is one of the few out here that I trust. They usually will do a real good job for you, and their prices are reasonable. They charge a lot less for mounting and dismounting tires, for example.
1.5 miles. Take exit 44B on the right to I-70 East.
Left the Quick Trip with a Q, not to be confused with Quick Trip with a K, like up in Cincinnati, or up in Wisconsin and Iowa and Illinois and all that. Just southwest of Tulsa last night, about 8 o'clock. After I got there early, about 6 o'clock in the morning, slept all day and left there last night. Like I've always said, if the weather's good, I'd rather drive at night, a lot less traffic and everything to deal with. Plus, when you're looking for a place to park at the end of your drive, it's early in the morning when everyone else is leaving. So you're going to be more apt to find a place to park. So I'm trying to make it out to the Fuel Mart. It's only got about 10 parking spots, but a great quiet little place to park. That's the exit for South Vienna, Ohio, exit 66 off I-70 eastbound. That's where we're going to try to make it to today. Then we'll take a nice long break. We'll leave late tonight so I can get to Sapp Brothers in Clearfield, Pennsylvania first thing in the morning and get in line and hopefully get all that done before we finish our drive.
Exit 44B on the right to I-70 East.
Over to the TA Express in New Haven, Connecticut, which is only about 41 miles away from where we'll deliver Monday morning to that Mohegan Sun Casino there in it's like Uncasville or something like that. I think it's got a different name, but that's the technical address. Connecticut. So, quite a bit of traffic here actually in the Indianapolis area for a Saturday morning, this early in the morning, but there you go. Okay, so let's run down all the numbers on how much this would cost. TA Petro versus buying the shocks at a Freightliner on your own, bringing them to a Sapp Brothers and getting them installed there, okay? I bought those Monroe drives Not a big fan of Monroe, but right now during the pandemic stuff, this is about, you got to take what you can get, all right? $49.59 a piece, okay? $198.36 total for all 4 drive shocks that I bought in Flagstaff, Arizona at a Freightliner there. Okay, in Indianapolis, I bought the trailer shocks. I bought Gabriel 85006s, which I've had before, $41.50 a piece. For a total of $175.13. That's with tax. Without tax, $166. We're gonna go all without tax money here, okay? And then Sapp Brothers to install them, $35 per shock, for a total of $280 for all 8 shocks. Grand total 8 shocks bought at 2 different Freightliners, installed by Sapp Brothers, $644.36. Okay, now, had I gone to a TA or Petro and bought the shocks from them and had them install them all, we would have been looking at, because TAs and Petros are going to charge $100 a piece, I know, because that's how much they charged me for each steer shock I had. They might charge even more for the drives, okay? I'm just going off what I paid for steer shocks not too long ago. $100 a pop. And another $100 to put both steer shocks on, which means $50 each for installation. Okay, so if you go by that money, TA or Petro, assuming I could get all drive shocks for $100 a piece, $400. Plus, I'm assuming maybe I could get the trailer shocks a little cheaper if they had them for $95, and $50 a pop to install them all. The total price out of a TA or Petro for all 8 shocks and installed would have been at least $1,180, if not more. Okay, so if you take that price, compare it against what I paid for all the shocks from those 2 different Freightliners and having Sapp Brothers install them, the overall saved money is $535.64. Got to do a little more work on your part, drivers, but if you're an owner-operator, you got to save money wherever you can, baby. And $535 saved, that's huge. Need I say more? That's almost half the price by buying them yourself at a Freightliner, calling around, trying to get the best prices, which I did. I started calling when I was in Las Vegas, Nevada. I knew 4 or 5 days driving across the country, so I kept calling, finding out who had what, how much they were charging. All right, so I got them for the best price I could get them, and then I knew Sapp Brothers was the cheapest to install, and they would let me bring them the parts, and they'd put them on. So I saved almost twice what it would have cost to go to a TA or Petro and have the same stuff done. This is how you save money as an owner-operator and how you bring more of that scratch home, baby. Thank ye. This video was days in the making, but, I wanted to show the importance of shopping around. My mama told me, ooh, you gotta shop around. Ooh, ooh. Anyway, shopping around and getting the best price you can on things for your truck, because owner-operators, this is how you save the money. This is how you bring more money home. All right, so here I am parked at, I'm behind a McDonald's in Cary, Ohio. I have a load of sugar I'm delivering tomorrow morning in Macomb, Ohio. I know, I never heard of it either. My load of slot machine, actually, it turned out to be slot machine parts. The podiums they sit on and the sign that go on the top and all that. That's what I had. That's why it didn't weigh as much as it was supposed to. Going to that Mohegan Sun Casino where I delivered on Monday. I got a picture of that place. Check it out. It's huge. Then they gave me another load. I was supposed to pick up in Stamford, Connecticut, a load of cardboard going over to Niagara Falls, New York. I get to the shipper and they're like, oh yeah, we don't have that ready today. That's not going to happen today. Really? So I had to call the broker and say, look, they say they don't have it ready. It's not going to happen today. Went and got parked at a little service plaza there off I-95 in Darien, Connecticut. They sent me a load later that afternoon that picked up in Edison, New Jersey, that I picked up. This would have been Tuesday morning, the 13th, and that's what I have now. This load of sugar that I deliver tomorrow morning. Well, now technically the 14th this morning, as I'm doing this video in Macomb, Ohio. There you go. That's trucking, baby. Gotta love it. Well, thanks for tuning into that one. I hope that gave you some good information about shocks, owner-operators mainly is for you, so you know how to save money on the shocks. You don't have to give it all to a TA or Petro for what they want for that. You kind of got to take some extra steps. You got to do a lot of calling around yourself to pick them up in the right place. But then, like I say, as Sap Brothers, since TA and Petro won't do that anymore, Sap Brothers will put on other people's shocks. Of course, they say, well, we can't guarantee anything. It's like, fine, just put them on. So, but, we ran down the numbers. Huge savings, baby. Yeah, huge savings. Right, Rusty? We gotta keep you in begging strips, right? So, yeah, after all. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please like and comment if you'd like to. Get to your comments. Sometimes takes a day or 2 or 3 because I'm a working truck driver. Ring the bell for notifications so you know when new videos come out or when we go live. Don't forget about Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter. I've got something coming up for TikTok for my debut on that. Hopefully we'll get to that within the next few days. All right, it's gonna be good, baby. Thank you. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. Harry Doyle here. Well, let's see. Today's post game is brought to you by. Christ, I can't find it. To hell with it. Alrighty, he's getting ready in position. Ooh, got it on the first leap. He snagged that bacon strip. Boy, he wanted it tonight. Right, Rusty? You wanted that bacon strip tonight bad, baby. Oh, yeah. Give us the happy dog smile. Happy dog look. Happy dog look.